able to share information. We have missed y'all tremendously. We have missed the kids. This is such a different time for so many of us, but everything that we do and everything that we're continuing to do, we do it with your students, with your kids in mind, because they're our priority. And so we are just excited to have this time to try to share as much information as we can. When we get to information that we may not have answers to, we will we will have somebody just jot those questions down. We will save that. We will try to get as much as we can, and then we'll put that out on our Facebook, on flyer and things like that to get it out. So we'll go ahead and start. Like I said, I'm Lorraine Bernal, the school leader, and then Alan, if you want to go next, and then we can go Mel, Paula, and go from there.
All right. And hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Alan Smith, and I am the Regional Superintendent for KIPP Texas San Antonio, and wanted to be on this call with you just to make sure that I could hear some of the concerns that you have, hear some of the things that you might be bringing up, but also to support this staff for the tremendous work that they have been thinking about as we restart. And just wanted to say, this has been an extremely trying time, and extremely difficult decisions have been made, but all of those decisions, like Lorraine said, have been made with one very critical piece at the center, and that is the safety of our students, the safety of our staffs, and the safety of you as family members. And because of that, we did not rush to make a decision. We did not waver back and forth in our decisions. We looked at all the information and then very carefully made a decision that we think is going to be the best for all of us, even though we would love to have all of our students in front of us at this time. But with that said, you know, we're going to continue to move forward and work through things. And then when we get to a point when it's safe, we will certainly welcome all of our KIPPsters back to our school buildings. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Mel.
Hi, I'm Mel Chavez. I'm one of the assistant school leaders at Mundo. I'm just going to go ahead and translate what Mr. Smith and Ms. Bernal said earlier. No estuvimos apurados para hacer una decisión que quisimos hacer una decisión informada, y lo que también estamos pensando era también la seguridad de nuestras familias, de nuestros estudiantes, maestros en el edificio. Sí, nos gustaría regresar, pero todavía vamos a tomar otras cosas en consideración, y como les había dicho, la seguridad es lo que estamos tomando muy en serio. And then whoever wants to go next to introduce themselves.
I can go next. Hi, my name is Paula Salas. I'm an assistant school leader here, mainly coaching math. And so I'm really excited to start this new year. Yes, I know it's going to be different, but I'm really excited that we are going to be working with your KIPPsters once again, and excited to give them a great education.
Hi, my name is Monique Lara, and I am one of the other assistant school leaders, and I mostly work with kinder. So if you had a kindergarten student last year, I may or may not have interacted with you, but I most definitely interacted with your child as well as their teacher. Just as Paula said, I am super excited about the start of the school year, even though it's not what we would hope for. I'm extremely proud to be a part of the KIPP Mundo family, and I'm excited to serve you and your students as well.
Hi, I'm Daylin Lopez, and I am the new instructional coach for KIPP Mundo. Previous to that, I was a third grade teacher last year and the year before. So I'll be working this year with first grade mostly.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Sophia Martins. I'm the campus operations manager. So basically, I manage the front office and everything that has to do with transportation, with logistics, with registrations and enrollment. So you probably know us or have been talking to some of us in this past week. We miss you all tremendously. This is a new normalcy, and we look forward to see you in the near future in our building. We miss you and your children and our little Kipsters. So we look forward to seeing you all.
Hi, my name is Tatiana Rodriguez. I will be the new school office manager for Un Mundo. I was also previously a third grade teacher as well and managed a lot of different activities and things like that for our school. So I'm really excited to be working with you guys.
Okay, was that everyone? Okay. All right. Thank you so much. We'll go ahead and start. I know there may be a couple of teachers on. Thank you for joining. Like I said, I can't see everyone's face, but I do appreciate those of you that are joining us from our staff. So welcome. Again, welcome parents, and we will begin our presentation at this point.
Mel, you're presenting?
Yeah, could you see it?
No, we can't see it.
I thought it was projecting. I could stop and then try it
I
again.
apologize for our technical difficulties. A couple of parents started presenting on accident, and then it knocked us out. So we're going to try to get back in. Okay, there you go, Mel. It's starting.
And just go to present. Did it? Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you. This is our agenda. Like I said, I'm so excited that so many of you have joined us. We're going to do what we did introductions. We're going to go over our core values, our return date, our virtual schedules, technology, digital platforms, attendance monitoring, assessments, grading policy, and then we'll close with, we'll try to answer as many questions as we can. You know, we only have an hour in this space, and we'll try to get to as many questions as we can. And those, like I said, that we can't answer, we will jot them down. And then once we get the answers, we'll be putting that out on social media, on different means of and modes of social media, and yeah, getting that out to you. We can go next.
Vamos a empezar con la agenda para el día de hoy. Estamos muy emocionados que estén aquí. Vamos a empezar con introducciones, que ya lo hicimos, los valores fundamentales, la fecha de regreso, el horario virtual, la tecnología, plataformas digitales de aprendizaje, el monitoreo de asistencia, las evaluaciones y calificaciones. Y al final vamos a tener tiempo para tomar preguntas. Si hay algo que no podamos contestar, vamos a tomarlo en cuenta y después vamos a darle la respuesta de eso.
Thank y'all. And we will be translating throughout. So the for our Spanish speaking parents that are on the call, you will be able to, it's written in Spanish, thanks to Mel and Day, and then they'll be translating as well. So thank you, ladies. Oh, can we go back? This one's in Spanish. Okay. These are just to meet our staff. Like we went through the staff members here and you met everyone. We can go next. Our core values, if you notice, it spells out Eagles. That's who we are, Kip Mundo Eagles. Our values, our core values are empathy. We always want to teach our kids to empathize with others. Sometimes, you know, other kids are going through things, and you might know a kid or an adult may know how that feels, and so you empathize with another one and with someone else, and we think that that's important. Especially, like, I know I keep saying this, but during this time, I think there are different ways that we are empathizing with one another, and that is such that's such an emotion and such a quality that is important in school, out of school, in life, and during this time. Academic achievement is something that we are always striving for and pushing our students to have academic achievement. Grit is something they're going to need and always need in life, but during this time and sitting in front of a computer and trying to learn virtually, it's going to take a lot of grit. We want our students to become leaders through integrity. In everything they do, we want them to have integrity and to be strong leaders. We want them to exude excellence in every assignment, even if it's virtual. We want them to be able to do it with excellence, for it to do the very best that they can. And then we always want our students to have success.
En cuanto a los valores fundamentales de un mundo, primero tenemos empatía, que es tener compasión. Queremos que nuestros niños tengan esa empatía hacia otros estudiantes, especialmente en estos tiempos de incertidumbre, que ellos tengan compasión y que entiendan la situación o las situaciones que otros estén pasando. También queremos que nuestros estudiantes tengan logro académico, que sobre todas las cosas pongan lo académico primero. También queremos que le echen muchas ganas y fuerza durante este tiempo, aunque vayamos a empezar virtual. Queremos que todas las tareas que terminen, que le echen muchas ganas. Siempre queremos que nuestros estudiantes también tengan liderazgo a través de integridad. Nosotros estamos trabajando para que nuestros estudiantes sean líderes, los líderes de mañana. Excelencia, que queremos que los estudiantes hagan todo con excelencia, todas las tareas, aunque sean virtuales, que le echen ganas y salgan adelante, para que al final tengan éxito, que es nuestro último valor.
And I apologize. I know that doesn't spell eagle in Spanish and it doesn't translate exactly the same, but we still want to keep our core, right, our core values. So this is the area that I know parents, you were waiting for, and I know you received this information. Our teachers are going to return August 3rd. And then the first day of school for our students will be August 24th. And it's going to be 100% virtual until we return to the building on October 12th. So this is what the state guidelines that have been provided for us and then from TEA. And so we will, like I said, school will start August 24th, 100% virtual, and then we will return to the building October 12th. We will be phased in with options, but in-person return will not be limited. So even though we're returning and maybe every child wants to return, every parent wants their child, we will not limit, unless we get orders by the state, we will not be limiting the number of seats or the number of kids that are returning. Surveys will be sent out so that we can prepare for the number of students that are going to be returning to our campus, and so that we can prepare our building and everything else for their safe return.
Sabemos que esto es algo que muchos tenían preguntas sobre esto, las fechas para regresar. El 3 de agosto los maestros van a regresar. El primer día de clase de los estudiantes será hasta el 24 de agosto y vamos a empezar 100% virtual. Los estudiantes podrán regresar al edificio el día 12 de octubre con la opción de regresar al edificio sin limitaciones de personas regresando. Antes del 12 de octubre se va a enviar una encuesta para determinar cuántos estudiantes van a regresar, para nosotros preparar los salones de clase para que los estudiantes estén listos para entrar.
Our virtual schedule, I wanted to go over this with you parents because I know when we launched in the spring, nobody was ready. Nobody knew that we were not going to return from spring break. Nobody knew how long we were going to do virtual. And we all were learning as we were going. Every school district was learning this, and I don't even want to call it a new normal because I hope it's a new temporary, or a temporary normal. But we were all learning. So we learned a lot from what we did virtually in the spring. And so here are the expectations for when we go virtual starting August 24th. It's going to be a full instructional day, and we are finalizing the schedules, and teachers will share that with you. Every child will still get a homeroom teacher. You will still get who your teacher is. We will work on how we do meet the teacher. We will work on how we do open house. Everything will be virtual, but we want to make sure that every student knows who their teacher is, because if you are enrolled at Mundo, you will be assigned to a teacher. We will include our virtual schedules. It will include more live lessons. Independent work is going to be monitored. It was monitored before, but it's going to be monitored even live, like as they do it. Teachers, we're going to try to make it as in person as we can, right? Students have to complete daily work, so it's not like they have extra days to do. Students are going to have to complete the work daily as if they were in the classroom. Attendance is going to be based on daily student work completion for every subject assigned. We will have more specific guidelines prior to the first day of school, and we'll share those with the parents in terms of what attendance looks like and legally what we are obligated or how we are obligated to take attendance and what those guidelines are going to be. We are asking for your help, parents, to help us monitor student work completion daily and to reach out to your teachers with questions and support as needed. Parents, please don't ever hesitate. I know sometimes you feel like, oh, they're busy, or, oh, I don't want to bother them. While we are in our school day, that is, and as long as they're not teaching, please reach out. They will get back to you. We want to help in as many ways as we can because we know that this is not an easy time for anyone. So go ahead, Day.
En cuanto a los horarios virtuales, va a ser un poco diferente a como fue el semestre de la primavera. Por ejemplo, va a ser ahora un día completo de instrucción. Estamos finalizando los detalles del horario y los maestros lo van a compartir con ustedes en cuanto lo tengan. Van a ser más sesiones en vivo por videollamada. Va a haber más clases donde los maestros van a estar ahí presente dando clase. Los estudiantes tendrán que completar tareas diarias. El semestre pasado eran aproximadamente 3 a la semana. Ahora va a ser una cada día. Va a haber tareas independientes que serán monitoreadas. Aunque el semestre pasado las monitoreamos, van a ser monitoreadas mucho más y aún que estén en clases en vivo con la maestra. También la asistencia será basada en la finalización de tarea diaria para cada materia asignada. Todavía no tenemos muchos detalles sobre cómo se va a ver lo de la asistencia, pero en cuanto tengamos los detalles, los maestros van a compartir eso con ustedes, especialmente antes del primer día de clase. Y por favor, les vamos a pedir que nos ayuden a monitorear a los estudiantes cuando estén completando sus tareas diarias, que ellos las estén completando. Y también queremos expresar que estamos aquí para ayudarles. Cada estudiante va a tener asignada una maestra y esa maestra va a poder ayudarles con lo que ustedes necesitan. Esa información vamos a compartirla pronto.
Okay, I'm going to try to real quick answer the questions because they're all about the same, the one I read in the chat. We are working on that, parents. We do realize that a lot of you are going back to work, and I was even sharing with my boss. I'm a grandmother. My kids are older, right? But I am a grandmother, and I have two of my grandchildren. Okay, I only have two of them. I say it like I have more. I have my two grandchildren are often here. I have them half of the week, and it is even when I'm working virtually, and then I'm having to get my granddaughter on Zoom to do her work in the spring. When we were doing that, I do realize, and I did realize how difficult that was for me to multitask. But we are going to do our very best to work with you. I don't know all of TEA guidelines at this point. I know that there are going to be different circumstances, and we want to do our very best to work with you and to help you as much as we can, so that you are able to allow your child to get their work done, to be educated, to get their education. Yes, the lessons will be recorded. So the teachers are going to record their live lessons as well. So we are going to do our very best to help you. So please just, if you can allow us some grace and some patience as we get our guidelines from TEA and what we are able to do and what we are not able to do, but we will get that out to you as we get it. And definitely by the first day of school, we hope to have everything and all that information for you so that you can make the adjustments you need to make as a working parent. Do you want to translate or do I just keep going? You can just tell them in a nutshell. We will work on, and I know they're asking about homework, but we are going to try to get as much work done during the day and not assign as much homework because they're going to be in front of the computer so much. We are going to try to limit homework and get the work done during the school day and we can only put them on for so many hours a day anyway. And so we're going to limit what they have to do beyond what's happening during that school day. If you can translate some of that, Day, in a nutshell.
Ahorita sabemos que muchas veces la situación no es fácil y que muchos padres de familia trabajan muchas horas y que es difícil y nosotros entendemos. Las videollamadas con los estudiantes, las maestras las van a grabar y las van a subir para que los estudiantes que no puedan estar presentes tengan acceso a ver lo que pasó en la clase. Todavía no tenemos todos los detalles de parte de la educación, la Secretaría de Educación de Texas, pero en cuanto nosotros las tengamos, nosotros las vamos a compartir con ustedes.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I didn't have it on mute while I was typing. I answered one of the questions about the laptop. We'll have a schedule and you'll be able to pick it up as you did before. What we would like, and we think that would be beneficial, parents, if you can see the picture on the screen, we would like you to, as much as possible, to try to create, to set your student up for success. Create a quiet space that they can work away from distractions, with the TV off and things like that, so they could get their work done. Keep all the supplies needed in their one area. As you can see, there's like a little tin can there with their pencils, and this is like a school desk, but you don't have to have a school desk, but maybe like a little compartment where they can keep their supplies. I have like a TV tray behind me that I use as a side desk. You can use a TV tray. There are different things you can do to create a workspace for your student. The supplies that are going to be needed, the Chromebook or the laptop, which we'll send us a schedule out closer to August where you can come pick up the laptops if you have not gotten one. Pencils, spiral or composition notebook for each subject, erasers, dry erase markers, and then we have a sheet protector. Paula, okay, Ms. Salas is going to demonstrate how you can just make a whiteboard or a whiteboard or dry erase board for your students.
Yeah, so basically you just take a sheet protector, and they sell them in packs of 25, and then you just put a white piece of paper inside of here, and then you can use that with dry erase markers. And so kids can use this, especially in math, when they're doing lots and lots of problems, and so you can write on it, and then it just erases. And so this is an easy way to just provide your students like a working space to do math and to do other things. And it's cheaper than actually buying a dry erase board, but you can buy one too. But we ask that because they're gonna be doing lots of problems, this is what we ask you to provide. You can also use scratch paper, but this would be easier so you don't waste so much paper.
Estos son algunos tips para preparar a nuestros estudiantes para tener éxito mientras estamos dando clases virtuales. Si ven la foto de ahí, nosotros estamos pidiendo si por favor pueden hacer lo más que se pueda en casa, algo parecido a lo que se ve en la foto. Queremos asignar un espacio tranquilo donde los estudiantes puedan trabajar sin distracciones, sin la televisión, sin algún otro ruido, para que ellos puedan enfocarse y puedan concentrarse en lo que es la clase. Queremos ver si se puede tener todos los materiales en esta área. Los materiales consisten de una computadora o un Chromebook o una tableta. lápices, una libreta para cada materia, borradores, los marcadores no permanentes y un pizarrón blanco individual, o se puede hacer un pizarrón blanco individual usando un proyector de hojas con un papel en blanco, como lo está mostrando Ms. Salas. Solamente se compra el proyector de hoja y se le mete cualquier hoja en blanco y se puede usar el marcador. Eso es especialmente útil para matemáticas, donde los estudiantes puedan practicar sin tener que estar usando tanto papel. También se puede comprar un pizarrón blanco individual, es lo que sea más fácil para ustedes.
Thank you. I know there were some questions about technology as well. Just like we did in the spring when it was time for pickup, there was messages were sent out through Facebook and Dojo and all those ways, the same ways that you got the information about this meeting tonight. That information will go out with the schedules for laptops. For those of you that are using your own personal laptop, you can do that, but you don't have to. We can issue a Chromebook for each child that you have so that everybody has their own Chromebook to be working from. So if you have several grade levels, they can all be on their Chromebooks and working individually with their teachers. For the parent that, congratulations to the adoption. We can work with you because you might have different circumstances. So when we get to that point, ma'am, if you will reach out to us and we can see how it is that we can assist you and how we can help you to make things easier for you. Also, when we get to what they're going to be teaching, one of the questions was about a syllabus weekly or monthly to follow and to help them stay on track. We will have the schedules in the in Google Classroom so that you can follow and you'll know what assignments were done. If they missed an assignment, you can go back to it. You can go back to the recording and things like that so that they can get the work done. So usually they know and they can tell you like this, teachers. And can you jot this? I know somebody said they were scribing. Can you jot down that if we can ask teachers to kind of show and put into Google Classroom what they will be teaching for the week, the objectives and the TEKs and the lessons, so that parents will know what that week looks like. Those are really good questions, and it does help us to improve what we'll be doing when we return in the fall. New to KIPP students and families, you'll be communicated when and where to pick up the Chromebook. And if the student has already been issued a Chromebook, no further action is taken. You just continue to use the Chromebook that you have. I know I said a lot, Day. I hope you can translate that, and I will try to slow down or not say as much.
En cuanto a la tecnología, sabemos que muchos tienen muchas preguntas sobre la tecnología. Los estudiantes que son nuevos a KIPP van a recibir comunicación para cómo obtener una computadora antes de que empiece el ciclo escolar. Para los estudiantes que ya han estado en KIPP, si su estudiante ya tiene una computadora, no hay acción adicional para tomar. Lorraine, I don't know things that you wanted me to stamp from what you said.
If they need more laptops, like every child can get a laptop assigned to them.
Okay. Si necesitan más computadoras para que cada estudiante tenga su propia computadora, eso también se puede hacer. Vamos a darles más información sobre eso al final.
And then parents that are asking about what the first day of school will look like, we are working on our master schedule, and we are going to have to get that approved. So we don't have that for you to see at this time, but we are going to create, like the teacher will have, just like if she were in the building and have a daily schedule that she follows, we will share that daily schedule with you so you know. Prior to the first day of school, we'll have another meeting. This will not be the only meeting. We will have another meeting as everything gets finalized, so you all will see what the day will look like and what the expectations will be.
Estaban preguntando sobre el primer día de clases y cómo se va a ver el primer día de clases. Todavía no tenemos todos los detalles porque estamos finalizando el horario virtual, pero las maestras van a crear un horario que simula mucho el horario que tendrían los estudiantes durante las clases cuando están en la escuela. Entonces, en cuanto se finalice ese horario, lo vamos a mandar a ustedes.
These are some of the digital platforms that you will be using. These are some of the digital resource that will be used throughout the distance learning. You will receive individual student passwords for your students from their teachers. So Nearpod is just a way of present. Oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Salas, this is you. Go.
Oh, that's okay. So teachers will have an opportunity to use Nearpod and Google Classroom as like how they're going to present information, and then like Zoom or Google Meet and how to see the kids and interact with kids. But like when kids aren't face-to-face with teachers, they'll be using things like platforms like Edpuzzle, iExcel, Core 5 Reading, and Imagine Math. And those are what they can log on and do work that is not with teachers. It's like extra work that's aligned to their curriculum. Nearpod is actually very cool. It works with Google Slides, and it's an interactive tool that allows students to interact in the PowerPoint. It'll give polls. It'll give kids time to like type in, and teachers can see in that live time. She'll ask them a question like, what's 5 + 5? And then kids will be able to type in 10, or ask them like, what did you think about this story? Like, who is the main character? Things like that. And kids will be able to type in live time up on the screen, and everybody can then see the answers. So that also gives the teachers an opportunity to be like, oh, like kids are getting it, kids aren't getting it. How do I adjust? So it's a very cool platform that we're excited to be introducing. Go, Day.
Estas son las plataformas digitales que van a usar las maestras para ayudar con el aprendizaje. Una de las plataformas especialmente va a ser Google Classroom. Ahí es donde van a tener sus lecciones, los trabajos. Vamos a utilizar Nearpod. Nearpod está conectado con Google Slides y Google Classroom, donde las maestras pueden mandar encuestas, les pueden preguntar preguntas en matemáticas, también le pueden preguntar preguntas sobre lo que leyeron, les da la oportunidad de teclar para los pequeños que todavía están batallando para escribir o teclar, les da la oportunidad que puedan dibujar algo también en Nearpod, dibujan el número o cómo se sienten. Es una oportunidad para niños, no importa su edad, de kinder a 4º grado, para poderse comunicarse. También vamos a usar Zoom y Google Meet para que nos podamos ver en persona, las maestras igual a los alumnos. En adicional, los niños van a estar recibiendo su nombre de usuario y su contraseña para programas que le van a ayudar con su aprendizaje. Vamos a usar iExcel para escritura, matemáticas, lectura, también Core Reading, que viene siendo también algo de lectura que los niños van a usar, y también Imagine Math para ayudarles con matemáticas. Todas esas plataformas, muchos les dan un examen a los niños para saber a dónde están, y de ahí le dan ayuda adicional dependiendo a dónde necesitan ese apoyo.
We got a question on, thank you, Mo. We got a question on the chat that said, like, are these platforms friendly for students entering kindergarten? And the answer to that is it's going to be a challenge for all grade levels. And to be perfectly honest, this is the first time that they've actually been on these platforms before. And so teachers are going to be trained on how to present this information to children. And we're going to also be providing videos on how to sign on for parents to help too, how to help their child sign on and get used to it, because this is the first time they're actually logging on to anything, right? So yes, we're gonna need your support, and yes, we're going to add in some videos. And I know that teachers are going to be walking parents through lots and lots of these, and so that kids can get access through it. So yes, we're working on videos that we can upload that allows parents to and kids to actually see where they need to click on. So we're working on that.
And next week we're having a kinder meeting just for kinder. So Miss Lara, who is the ASL over kinder, is going to help those new parents, because we know y'all are starting from a different point. Some of your kids have never been in school. So we are having a meeting just for you parents to help you and to acclimate you to this virtual learning.
Ustedes tenían preguntas de qué tipo de plataformas iban a usar niños de kinder a cuarto grado. Las plataformas van a ser, hay unas en particular que sí son para niños que están en kinder a segundo grado y hay unos que son para los niños que están en tercero y cuarto. Claro, vamos a necesitar el apoyo de nuestros papás para que los niños puedan accesar a esas plataformas, pero también lo que vamos a hacer para apoyarlos a ustedes y a nuestros estudiantes, vamos a hacer videos para los estudiantes y los padres también. Aquí estamos para el apoyo que necesitan. Nosotros podemos contestar cualquier pregunta que ustedes tengan. También los podemos guiar en el proceso en accesar a estas plataformas. También vamos a tener una junta para nuestros papás que tienen niños que van a entrar a kinder, también a primero, segundo, tercero y cuarto, para que también tengan información que les pertenece a su estudiante en particular.
And Mel, can you also, the other thing is that the kinder teachers, I've already communicated with all of them and they are all excited to be present during the kinder virtual orientation. So y'all can see the teachers, put a face to the name. We don't have student rosters yet, but at least you'll be familiar with all of our 5 kinder teachers, and they'll be more than happy to answer any more specific questions with regards to what some of the expectations will be like for virtual learning, specifically to them and their grade level.
Cuando tengamos la junta de kinder, ahí va a tener la oportunidad de conocer y también ver a nuestras maestras de kinder. Ahí van a estar para contestar cualquier pregunta que usted tenga. Siguiendo adelante, es algo que estamos planeando para cada grado que le pertenece que usted tenga a su hijo, para que tenga una idea de cómo se va a ver la maestra y la clase. No necesariamente ahorita ya tenemos las listas de niños en particular en kinder, quién le va a tocar, pero teniendo esta información sí se la vamos a dar.
Also, parents, I did see someone type about their student being Spanish dominant. Throughout this time, we are going to have our EL coordinator that will set times up where they pull out just like they would in the school day, and they support your student. You just have to stay in communication with where your student is and if they're able to get the support they're needing or if they're still struggling. But we do have an EL coordinator that supports students that are learning English as a second language. The other thing, guys, it's a real a plug here. If you know families that are still in need of registering kinder students, we have a lot of seats available in kinder. I know this is a time where people are a little apprehensive, but we are starting virtual. We have, if y'all are not sure, invite them to our kinder meeting next week. Our kinder teachers, like all of our teachers, are amazing. They do so much for our students, and we would love to have to overflow in kinder because they are our foundation. So please reach out, let other families know that we are registering all students, but kinder students. We have a few seats left and we would love to have your kids or their kids.
Lo que estaba contestando Ms. Bernal, si usted tiene un estudiante donde domina más otro idioma que no es el inglés, puede ser español, tenemos una maestra de inglés como segundo idioma que da apoyo adicional a esos estudiantes que necesitan más ayuda en el inglés. También lo que hacemos es, sí damos entrenamiento a todas nuestras maestras de kinder a cuarto grado para que sepan cómo apoyar a nuestros estudiantes que todavía están captando el inglés. Si también usted conoce a alguien que está interesado que venga a KIPP, particularmente en kinder, todavía tenemos cupos. Sé que ahorita es un tiempo difícil para registrar a su hija o a su hijo. Sí tenemos espacio para que sean parte de la comunidad de KIPP. So, si quieren escribirlo, por favor, se puede quedar y le podemos dar más información.
Now we are at attendance monitoring. First through fourth, they will have we'll do it more of like the meet the teacher. We did this specifically for kinder because those students are, some of them are completely brand new to education. So, but yes, we will have something for them. So attendance monitoring, guys, this is real important. TEA is changing the guidelines. TEA was very flexible in the spring because it was new, right? And we were learning and we were trying and we just wanted to know where our kids were at. Now it is more about like the work that is getting completed, because we know that the kids are present somewhere because they're not in the building, but to know that they are receiving an education, we're doing that. The way that they're connecting that is through attendance, through work completion. So it is extremely important that attendance is taken daily, just like in person. They're not as lenient as in the spring. It's going to be taken by every teacher the student will have. So every teacher that is assigning work will check to see whether that student was online that day doing their assignments. It's going to be taken by the assignments that the students are completing, and we will have more specifics by August 24th because they're going to give us more specific guidelines. So go ahead, Dan.
Es muy importante que los niños estén asistiendo a la escuela. Todos los días vamos a estar tomando diariamente la asistencia como si el estudiante estuviera en persona. No vamos a ser tan flexible como fuimos en la primavera. Sí se tomará cada clase que su hija o su hijo vaya, es cuando la maestra va a tomar la asistencia, como en tercero y cuarto. Los niños van a ver 5 maestras van a tomar asistencia. En kinder es una maestra y en primero y segundo son 2 maestras. Como van a tomar asistencia es con la cantidad que están terminando de sus tareas. Estamos viendo que los niños que estén haciendo sus tareas, y así va a estar checando la maestra, se tomará basado en las tareas completadas por el estudiante. Y como les habíamos dicho, les vamos a tener más detalles para el 24 de agosto con lo que nos diga el estado de Texas.
The other question about students with, if your student is, we do have SPED students on our campus, students with disabilities. Their teachers will still be working with them. Our SPED department and our SPED teachers are still going to be working with the students. They are going to have a schedule that supports the students that are supposed to be receiving services. So if a student has a disability and has already been diagnosed and has already been identified as a SPED student, they will receive services through our SPED, with our SPED teachers.
Si su estudiante ha recibido servicios de educación especial anteriormente y están en el programa, sí le aseguramos que las maestras de educación especial le van a estar dando el apoyo a su alumno en las clases para que ellos también puedan tener éxito.
Ms. Salas, I think that's you. Is the question in Spanish asking about supplies that they're going to need when they return in October? Is that what the question says? Mel, can you read that last question?
I can't see
that. You can't see. Oh, that's right. Dave, will you
PowerPoint.
check that one, Ms. Lopez, what that last question is?
Okay, it's asking if there's going to be a list of school supplies that will be needed for October when they go back to school.
Okay, so I understood it correctly. Yes, we will have that ready for you prior to October.
La pregunta era si va a haber una lista de útiles para los estudiantes cuando regresen en octubre. Así les vamos a dar esa lista cuando ya esa fecha esté más cercana.
Okay, so for assessments, students will actually be taking assessments throughout the year, they'll be taking their tests, but one in particular that we have to highlight is one that they're going to be actually taking at home, and that is our MAP test. We've taken it every year, and students take it 3 times a year, and it stands for Measures of Academic Progress. Students will be tested in 1 test in math and 1 test in reading. And for 4th grade, they're actually taking a language test because they have a writing test as well. So in MAP tests, It is an online test. It measures growth, and it's used to target instruction so that we can see where each student lies in comparison to other students in their grade level around the country. And it helps, this is the best part about MAP testing, is that it tells us where students are, and it helps teachers see the needs and close those learning gaps. So it's super crucial that that the kids are going to take this test, take it seriously, because it will be a test that we can see, like, this is where the student is, this is where we need to get them to be. And I know it's a lot to translate, but one of the best things about MAP testing is that it actually correlates later on in years when they get to middle school and high school to how they're going to do it and on the college entrance exam, ACT. So we actually can measure across the years to see how they're going to score in order to get into college. So that is one of the things that we're going to start. And so yes, the MAP test will be taken 3 times a year, but the first one will be given to you guys. It'll be rolled out to parents so that we can, for kids, and it will be the first measure to see where your kids are at so that teachers know.
Los estudiantes van a tener varias evaluaciones. Una de ellas que les vamos a dar a nuestros estudiantes es el examen MAP. Ese es un examen que le damos a los niños de kinder a 4º grado. Se los damos durante el principio del año, a medios de año y al fin del año para ver su progreso. Para kinder a 4º grado, todos los niños toman matemáticas y lectura. Y 4º grado es el único grado que toma el del lenguaje, porque como los niños van a tomar el examen del estado de escritura, ellos necesitan tener esa práctica de cómo van a poder salir adelante. Algo muy bueno del examen de MAP es que la maestra puede sacar reportes para ver dónde los estudiantes están al principio del año y qué metas tienen. También le da ese reporte a las maestras áreas de que los niños necesitan apoyo adicional. En esos áreas, la maestra se puede enfocar para sacar al estudiante adelante y no se esté atrasando en sus materias. La otra cosa, en MAP usan ese examen en particular para ver, lo comparan mucho a muchos de los exámenes que los estudiantes toman antes de entrar a la universidad, como el ACT, y muchas veces se pueden comparar. Otros exámenes que los estudiantes van a estar tomando vienen siendo exámenes durante las unidades de matemáticas, de lectura y de escritura, y también un examen al fin de la unidad para ver cuánto los estudiantes aprendieron. También vamos a tener exámenes de práctica de el STAR para 3º y 4º, y lo tenemos en el otoño y también en la primavera.
Okay, this is, I can't see that slide. Who's presenting this? Is it you, Ms. Salas? Is it me? Okay. This is just an outline of what our testing will look like. The headlines, the type of testing, there's MAP in the fall, the winter, and the spring. The reason we do that is we'd like to see where students are at the beginning of the year, and then if they are lower than where they need to be, what interventions we need to take in order to help them grow and advance in their learning. Then we take it again in the winter to see have they made the strides and the gains that they needed to make before we get to the spring. And we'll have interims for our older grades. Not these interims are usually just 3rd and 4th grade. Those interims are STAR practice tests to see what adjustments we need to make in our instructions to see if our kids are where they are at, and then what adjustments we need to make in instruction to make sure that they are prepared for the STAR test in the spring. Exit tickets are done. This is going to be a little bit different too. When we get into the building, it's every day. These are going to be 2 exit tickets per week. And exit tickets just tell us whether the student mastered the objective that was taught that day. And if they didn't, the teacher has to reflect on, was it something that I did? Was there a misconception in my teaching that I didn't address? Or is there another need? And so those exit tickets are very helpful in determining our daily lessons for our students.
Aquí les presentamos de los exámenes donde les estábamos explicando que tomamos durante el año, al principio, medio y al fin del año. Cada examen es una oportunidad para que la maestra sepa dónde están los estudiantes y qué apoyo adicional van a necesitar para obtener su meta cuando tenga que presentar el examen otra vez. Y al fin puede ver que los exámenes que están en rosa son los exámenes del estado que los niños de tercero y cuarto toman, pero también tenemos el examen MAP que los niños también toman. Una pregunta que estaban preguntando era sobre algo que se llama exit ticket. Esos son exámenes pequeños después de cada lección que le damos a nuestros estudiantes de kinder ya cuarto grado para saber qué aprendieron, qué todavía les falta, que no necesariamente entendieron, para que la maestra pueda ajustar su lección para el siguiente día y pueda hacer esos ajustes y les enseñe o les repase cosas que a lo mejor no captaron.
This is just our grading overview. It's very similar to the way it was done prior to, the way we do in, when we're in person and virtually. So I'm not going to read this for sake of time and just because it's the traditional way that the grading has always been.
Aquí es como hacemos las calificaciones en KIPP, no solamente en Un Mundo, pero en todas las escuelas. Es muy parecido a lo que estábamos haciendo años anteriores, pues para que lo tenga como referencia.
Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute, Lorraine.
Sorry, you'd think I would be used to this by now. So we have, for the sake of time, I know we answered a lot of questions. I'm going to allow Sofia Medina. She is our family liaison. She's going to talk about Flyer and some of the means of communication. So, Sofia, go ahead.
Hi, families. Can y'all see me or is the presentation still on?
Would you like me to stop presenting?
No, it doesn't matter. I just wanted to say, but anyways, parents, this is Sofia Medina. I'm the family community coordinator at our KIPP Commerce campus. In order to receive immediate school updates, I would suggest for all of you to follow us on our Facebook page under KIPP Un Mundo Primary. Also look us up on Instagram under KIPP Un Mundo and download the Flyer Connect app to your smartphones. This is a way for you all to stay alert to any communication that's sent out by district or by our school leaders and any immediate school updates. Buenas tardes, es Sofía Medina, soy la Family Community Coordinator de nuestra escuela y les quiero decir que para que se mantengan al tanto de todas las actualizaciones que estaremos mandando, les sugiero que nos sigan las páginas de Facebook como KIPP Un Mundo, nos sigan en Instagram también como KIPP Un Mundo y que descarguen la aplicación Flyer Connect app a sus teléfonos inteligentes. I'm going to go ahead and drop my phone number to the chat box. That way you guys can call me or text me in case you guys need anything or if you guys are in need of resources. Voy a poner mi número de teléfono en el chat para que puedan mandarme mensajes de texto, me puedan llamar si necesitan algo o si ocupan unos recursos o si necesitan ayuda en cómo descargar la aplicación Flyer Connect. Thank you.
There's a parent that asked about, in Spanish, they asked about whether we will be able to, I think, do the homework and the exit tickets in both languages. That is something I'm not exactly sure of, Mel, and I know you could probably speak to this a little bit more.
Yeah, so when it comes to completely translating exit tickets in science, in math, and in reading, we are losing some context there. If we do have students that speak absolutely no English whatsoever. We do work with the student and their families to make the curriculum accessible to them. But you could definitely contact the teacher if you do have additional questions as far as what the assignments look like. And as far as the exit ticket, those are the like the mini quizzes that we are giving students. So we're able to understand how much they actually did learn. And then we're able to find out what areas the teacher does need to shift for her reteach. Una de las preguntas era si podemos cambiar los exit tickets, que vienen siendo las pruebas pequeñas al fin de la lección, y los trabajos en español. Solamente hacemos eso si su estudiante absolutamente no sabe nada de inglés, pero como quiera queremos que puedan accesar el material, y nosotros trabajamos con ese estudiante en particular. Si usted tiene una pregunta de el trabajo o del exit ticket, puede hablar con la maestra, como le había dicho, el exit ticket o el examen pequeño que los niños toman al fin de la lección. Es eso lo que usa la maestra para saber qué el estudiante captó y no captó, para que pueda también regresar y enseñar parte del material para que el estudiante pueda captar.
Thank you. And I apologize, I was not on mute. So we have like 1 more minute. I appreciate all of the questions that were in the chat and that we were able to answer. I think that saved us time at the end because we were doing 2 things at one time. Ms. Medina, I wasn't able to answer the question about the app, and I didn't know if maybe you would be able to. Oh, you answered it. Okay. Sophia Medina answered that, Janae. So hopefully that will help you.
Yes, please text me. That way I can go ahead and send you the step-by-step flyer that we have.
Awesome. Thank you, Sophia. You're so awesome with that. I know she does well with that. Whenever I'm having issues with communication to parents or things that need to go out, Sophia helps me and gets it out as soon as possible. Okay. So are there any other questions at this time? I know we are at 7 o'clock, but if there's one last question that someone has that they weren't able to put into the chat. Awesome. Thank you, guys. I am so excited about this new year. I see that 77 people showed up. I know, and some have left. I know that some are teachers. I know they're staff members, but the majority of you are parents here on this call today. I can't thank you enough for joining us, for being a part of our family, for being a part of our team. We know this is going to be different, but we are going to do everything we can to make sure that this virtual learning is the best that it can be. We will not be perfect. I'm going to be honest with you. I know we are going to make mistakes because this is new to us. We've never started a school year virtually. We never ended a school year virtually, but we're going to do it. We're going to do the best that we can. And then when we get your students back in October, we are going to do everything we can to hopefully close the gaps, any learning gaps that happened during this time that they were not in the building learning in front of a teacher. So thank you so much. Thank you to everyone, every team member that was on today helping us. Thank you for translating. Thank you for answering questions. And thank you for being a part of Mundo. We appreciate you guys. We hope that you have an enjoyable summer, and we will be sending more information again for our next couple of meetings. Thank you so much.
Muchísimas gracias por tomar el tiempo de estar con nosotros. Nos queremos asegurar que vamos a trabajar muy fuerte con ustedes, con sus estudiantes, igual las maestras, para sacar a sus estudiantes adelante, y cualquier cosa que a lo mejor no capten, que tengan la confianza de comunicarse con las maestras, con nosotros. Cuando los niños regresen, comenzamos otra vez y le echamos mucho empeño. Como les había dicho, muchas gracias. Cualquier cosa, aquí estamos para apoyarlos. Muchísimas gracias.